test. All right, we are going to get started. Welcome. Thank you for coming. So this is going to sound, because I'm Chris. I'm one of the founders of Sandbox. This is going to sound creepy, but I was up there watching you all come in and feeling all sentimental, especially as I saw this row here, Craig and Sid and Trent, other Mike over there. He came in late, I guess, so he wasn't up there when I was watching, but Sandbox exists because this community has rallied around it in a way that was surprising to me and something that I'm deeply grateful for. I think hopefully you'll see today that it's worth rallying around. Just to give you a quick update on Sandbox. Oh, so first of all, so we have an investor portal this year. Very fancy. So you can scan this QR code. That'll allow you to connect with any of the teams that you're interested in. That will just send an introduction email between you and the team. And so make sure that you have that. And then also afterwards, so we're going to do the pitches. Afterwards, you can see these tables around here. They're in alphabetical order. And so you can go find the founders at those tables. Okay. But quick update on Sandbox. So we've now had 10 teams back to a combined valuation of $308 million. The good news, though, for you guys is that that's an increase of $121 million from their first round. And so they keep growing. They're building real companies. Obviously, I'm massively proud of them, and you're going to see why. I think this is our strongest batch of companies that we have ever had in Sandbox. We're now at 8 schools, or sorry, this year we're at 6 schools. And so the teams are coming from across all of those, and so we're excited to meet them. The furthest ones away are from Louisville, so make sure you give them a big round of applause when they come up here. Because they've traveled a long way to be here. So, all right, we're going to do this. We're going to just run back to back to back. Roughly halfway through, Leland was kind enough to sponsor Demo Day and all the food for the students today. So we're going to give them a chance to come up and say something roughly halfway through. But other than that, we're just going to go back to back. I'll come up at the end, and then we'll have a chance to mingle afterwards. So let's welcome the first team to the stage, which is Autobase.
All right, my name is Calvin, and my co-founder is Spencer. We are building Autobase, the automated backend for company truth. GitHub commits are on track to increase over 1,400% this year. This is insane. AI has fundamentally changed how we write code, and products are being shipped faster than ever before. But what's even crazier is that the systems we use to support these products and companies can't keep up. Help centers, AI support agents, they all depend on accurate knowledge about how the product works. And when the product changes, it creates hours of manual documentation work for the team, which can cost thousands of dollars and isn't sustainable in the future. Autobase sits in between product changes and the knowledge about how the product works. As products change, we identify the exact articles that need to be updated and make the changes needed to keep them accurate. This saves teams hours of work, and our early design partner, using an early version of Autobase, found that their AI support agent resolution rate increased by over 12%, and we estimated that they saved over $4,000 a month. We are just getting started in customer support, and we're starting in customer support because the pain is urgent, and the ROI on accurate knowledge is immediate, but it is only the beginning. SOPs, internal knowledge bases, marketing documents, onboarding documents, they all require maintenance to keep their knowledge accurate. And our vision for Autobase is to become the accuracy layer for company knowledge, no matter the stack a company uses. Autobase will plug into their tools, understand what changes are made and when, and keep their company truth accurate. We are Autobase. Thank you.
We're Biddy, and we use AI to automate estimating for construction contractors. I recently went to lunch with one of our clients, Johnny. He told me he spends all day on site, comes home around 7 or 8 at night, puts his kids to bed, and then from 9 to 2 a.m., he stays up doing estimates. All this to get up at 6 a.m. the next morning and do it all over again. We've talked to multiple contractors who have told us the same thing, and Johnny isn't living alone in this world. We've watched multiple contractors spend 15 to 30 hours doing a single estimate over the course of 4 weeks. This manual, time-consuming process makes it really difficult for contractors to scale their business and win jobs. Biddy automates that process. Contractors upload blueprints, and Biddy uses AI to measure and return priced estimates. We're already cutting estimate time from 4 weeks to 2 days, but our vision is to cut this to 5 minutes by September. And while our clients switch to us for our speed, they stay for our accuracy. Our models are trained off of real bid data, not national databases. As a result, our estimates are 90% accurate to final project costs. At $350 per estimate, with 335 million estimates being done each year, this is a $117 billion annual market. We currently have 15 active customers and have gone from $400 to $3,000 in monthly revenue since January. In the last 3 weeks, we've had 7 demos booked through SEO, 2 of which have already closed. One of them found us because they asked ChatGPT, what are the best AI estimating softwares? And it recommended Biddy. And as we all know, chat never lies. Another client has recently asked to invest in Biddy after we saved him $50,000 on a single project. But while for customers like Johnny, this isn't just about saving money. It's about giving him his nights back while still enabling him to scale his business. We're Biddy. Thank you.
All right. Super excited to be here. Last month, the entire compliance industry imploded when the fastest growing player was accused of fraud and faking SOC 2 reports. All their customers thought they were compliant, but they weren't. And this is a story that we keep hearing over and over. People will tell us, yeah, we got SOC 2 or we got HIPAA compliance, but no, we don't actually know if we're secure. So my co-founders and I saw the writing on the wall about a year ago, and we decided to build for a world our competitors never saw coming. We built the world's first AI-native compliance platform built on risk intelligence, where security comes first and compliance follows naturally. And this is a massive deal. Let me show you why. Because what we're capable of doing is taking every major compliance framework, that's SOC 2, HIPAA, CMMC, and 200 more, and we can map it against a digital twin of your entire organization. What that allows us to do is something really cool. We can deploy entire swarms of AI agents into that data. These are going to be analysts, attackers, auditors. They're going to find everything that is wrong, missing, or misconfigured. We're the only people on the market that can do this right now. What you get at the end of this is what we call a risk intelligence report. It tells you exactly where you're exposed, what your risks are, and even how your next data breach is going to happen before it's too late. We launched this product 3 weeks ago. In the last 2 weeks alone, we've had over 30 demos, and we have paying customers. Compliance is a massive $30 billion market. But risk intelligence runs deeper. Every industry that lives and dies on risk has already approached us. So we are raising to seize this opportunity, where the industry built on shortcuts is crashing, and where Blue Magma is already built to be what comes next. Thank you very much.
We're DeductLy, a financial tool built for solo entrepreneurs. We help business owners track their income, expenses, and profitability all in one simple place without spreadsheets or accounting jargon. There are already 34 million solo entrepreneurs in the world, in the US, and that number is growing by 19% every year. These solo entrepreneurs aren't accountants. However, QuickBooks and other tools on the market are treating them like they are. These tools require them to set up complicated systems like charts of accounts and other things that solo entrepreneurs don't understand or don't always have time for. As a result, business owners don't know what's profitable, where their money is going, or how to prepare for taxes. That's why we built DeductLy. We provide a simple, intuitive way for solo entrepreneurs to manage their finances with no accounting knowledge required. Users can track income, expenses, and key financial metrics in real time, all in one place. They can securely connect their bank accounts, allowing transactions to flow automatically into DeductLy. This eliminates manual entry and saves hours every week. With personalized insights, we highlight what works and what doesn't so business owners can make faster and more confident decisions. We launched 3 months ago and have 50+ active users who have already adopted DeductLy for all their business finances. These are real users, not just signups, who are actively relying on our product. We're expanding through word of mouth and have a growing pipeline of new users. Our app is live on the App Store, making it simple to track finances on the go, while our web platform provides a more detailed view. Both are seamlessly synced together. Our goal is simple: to build a financial tool designed specifically for solo entrepreneurs and to help them spend less time managing their money and more time growing what they love. Thank you.
%40 of college students never finish their degree, and universities lose millions as a result. We're building the system that helps them solve this. This is Do-Gooder, AI infrastructure for student success. Mid-sized universities lose $5 to $8 million every year on dropouts alone. And with enrollment as a nation going down and budgets getting cut, they can no longer recruit their way out of this hole. This leads to retention being their biggest opportunity, but they have no visibility into what students are doing on a day-to-day basis until it's too late. Do-Gooder fixes this. It sits inside students' daily academic workflows, where we start as an AI assignment management system, extracting their deadlines from their syllabi or learning management systems and keeping them on track. But since then, we've expanded even further into adaptive AI learning tools built upon their own coursework, adding even more value and deepening engagement. But most importantly, underneath all this, we provide universities something they've never had: visibility into day-to-day student engagement before they fall behind. We've already seen great success selling directly to the student. 36,000 signups across 4,500 universities are on our platform, driving $84,000 in annual recurring revenue. And we've been iterating on our product quick, dropping churn from 26% at one point all the way down to 8% now. And this type of student adoption is converting. We've locked up 2 university pilots for next school year with a combined total of 30,000 new students on our platform. We started by selling subscriptions directly to the student, but now we're expanding that model into universities paying on a per-user basis. And universities already lose millions of dollars each year to drop out, so even just retaining a handful more students will cover the entire cost of Do-Gooder. And there's over 20 million students just in the United States alone, representing a $2 billion market opportunity here. I'm Ethan Havertape, and along with Nate Royal, we're the co-founders of Do-Gooder. We built this as current students at the University of Louisville. We're raising $1 million closing June 30th, of which $300,000 has already been committed and wired. We've proven student adoption and are now looking to convert that into institutional contracts and searching for the right partners to do so. Thank you so much.
Hello, everyone. My name is Devin. I'd like to start with a question. What happens when the insurance industry loses $37 billion to wildfires in just 1 year? The answer is terrible. Thousands of homeowners every day are losing their insurance with non-renewal letters and inspection reports that make no sense. What's happening here is local agents are losing business and homeowners don't know what to do. The requirements are not clear. They get up to a dozen of these 80-page reports every single day. And so managing them is a complete nightmare. What FireCall does is we are the AI inspection manager that turns paper reports into actionable to-do lists for the average homeowner can actually understand and take action. But what we do not stop there. What's next is we deploy wildland firefighters to actually do the work for homeowners. These insurance requirements are just the wedge and funnel for business early on. We are going to be the largest marketplace for hiring wildfire professionals in the country. We currently have, so there are over 1,000 wildfire contractors that make up over 60% of the market right now. We currently have 75 crews onboarded. We have done $10,000 in mitigation work this month with a 30% revenue on that. And we have 6 insurance agencies paying $200 a month for our AI inspection manager. I am a former wildland firefighter. My team knows software. I know software. We can get the job done. There's very few with this niche skill set, and we're ready to get it done. Thank you.
Every divorce case requires an attorney to collect hundreds of pages of documentation from their client before they can even go to court. Clients are asked for, among other things, months of bank statements, old tax returns, and literally a list of every possession worth over $100. Turns out, that's a tough ask for someone in the middle of a messy divorce. And because all this is handled through insecure email chains, the process drags on for weeks or months. Paralegals spend 50% of their week just nagging clients and reviewing coffee-stained pictures of incorrect documents. This creates a bottleneck so severe that attorneys are forced to turn away new business. Firmspan fixes this by replacing endless email chains with a simple step-by-step walkthrough. Instead of a massive checklist, our platform shows clients exactly what's needed, automates complex finance retrieval, and uses custom AI agents to actively guide the client through any confusion. Paralegals just send the initial request and wait for their court-ready PDFs to be in. They get their sanity back, and attorneys get to increase caseloads without scaling headcount. And our results are clear. We've dropped the industry standard of 3 to 6 weeks to collect documents down to just 10 days. In fact, our platform has proven so effective that attorneys are literally referring it to the opposing counsel just to close cases faster. That kind of organic growth has pushed nearly 70 cases through our system in less than 2 months. With our model proven, we are now targeting a $350 million beachhead in family law. But that's just the wedge. As we expand into the 35 million US court cases filed each year, we unlock a $3.5 billion opportunity. Moving forward into this broader market, we don't just collect documents, we empower attorneys to take on more cases faster. We are Firmspan, and we are turning legal intake into a single click. Thank you.
In 2024, a court ordered that Air Canada honor a refund policy that its chatbot had hallucinated. The $600 ruling was pretty minor for them, but the reputational fallout cost them more than $200 million in market cap loss. Every company shipping AI today could be one hallucination away from the same headline. When an LLM responds to a customer, a clinician, or a trader, mostly right is just not good enough. The response has to be accurate, policy compliant, and mathematically correct. In finance, your money is on the line, and in healthcare, lives are. At GD, we make sure this doesn't happen. We do that by separating the math, logic, and policy enforcement out of the LLM entirely. Instead, that work runs inside of a deterministic rules engine that runs before, during, and after every model call. This next part is what makes our system special. Every time the AI encounters a new situation, we give it the tools it needs to draft a structured rule capturing its logic. Then, once your team reviews and approves it, that becomes a part of your system. So when the situation comes up again next, the rule will run instantly and directly every time. So what the AI figures out for you once becomes logic your company owns forever. Right now, we're deploying this through our software consulting business, where we're working with enterprise and mid-market companies who are gaining early access to our technology as we take our rules engine and put it into their products. Every engagement hardens the tech and prepares it to be put into a SaaS product offering we're bringing to the market next. Today, we stand at $538,000 in ARR from our consulting clients, an 80% close rate, and an average deal size of $125K per year. We know that the future of AI is not just about the models themselves, but about the tools and systems we build to make them work. We don't want you or any of your companies to be the next Air Canada. Come talk to us.
$5 billion is spent annually on lobbying at the state level. Yet despite a big industry, current options can't keep up with the speed and complexity of modern legislatures. The reason is simple. Every state has unique nuances, and no one has been willing to tackle them. We are building the state-specific AI-powered back office for lobbyists, PACs, and government teams. Klovva monitors legislation, generates AI summaries, and centralizes calendars so that teams can respond in minutes and not hours, all while maintaining each state's unique rules, regulations, timelines, and data structures. These differences matter because They control how bills move, when they're introduced, and when decisions are made. So small mistakes can mean missed opportunities to influence them. Our first state is Arizona. Big growth in tech, software, and mining is driving economic growth and new legislation, making it the perfect state for us to launch. We launched 4 weeks prior to the Arizona legislative session, and in that time, we signed 4 of the top lobbying firms in the state for a total of 10K ARR. They have used us the entire legislative session, and they love what we're doing. Since then, we've done over 15 different demos with hundreds of other calls, and most of our new prospects have already heard of us from our current customers. Right now, we have 45,000 in the pipeline ready to sign prior to the next legislative session. Don't take it from me, the feedback is clear. Klovva is changing the game for legislative workflow. Thank you.
Hey everybody, my name is Eris, and my team and I are building Maestro. Picture this, you run a wealth management firm. The pressure is on to adopt AI. But where do you even start? Yeah, asking a chatbot a question is easy, but setting up AI agents requires navigating terminals, installing tools, and manually building workflows. It's a technical nightmare. And even if you manage that, what actually should you automate? That's why we built Maestro. We show you exactly how to get value from AI agents in the wealth management industry today, and we remove the technical barrier completely. We provide curated workflows for the most time-consuming processes in the industry, from client onboarding to regulatory filing preparation that work with the tools that you use. And if you want something custom, you can message Maestro in plain English, and Maestro builds itself workflows that get the job done based on what you need. Here's why we win. Maestro can navigate browsers like a human could, which means it can interact with legacy portals and custom CRMs. We're not just limited to platforms with APIs. And second, Maestro has the most granular policies on the market. You can define policies in real context rather than just having blanket approve, deny rules. Real context like dollar amounts, client tiers, and time windows. And in a regulated industry where control is a non-negotiable, that precision is a huge advantage. We've pre-sold 7 seats across 5 different firms. With over 300,000 employees of the wealth management industry at around $300 a seat per month, our total addressable market is $1.2 billion. We're Maestro. We give you the capability and the clarity to automate wealth management tasks with AI. Thank you.
My name is Benton, my co-founder is Mati, and together we're building Milo. Milo is a platform built to automate desk work for restoration contractors. Restoration companies are the crews that come after a fire or flood. Typically, you hire these crews, and that 50% of their time is spent in the home, but the other 50% of that is spent at a desk in the back office, doing insurance negotiations, estimate writing, managing customers, and everything in between. Currently, restoration back office is managed across 3 different softwares, 4 different employees, resulting in hundreds of thousands of dollars in chaos that ultimately end up flowing through to the frustrated homeowners and insurance agencies that are affected by this. Milo is one platform operated by AI employees with all of the tools to run these jobs from start to finish. The restoration industry is a $100 billion market. We charge per job, and there are about 14 million services that happen every year, resulting in a $4.6 billion Milo opportunity. We have raised $200,000 across VC, angels, and our users. We have 5 active companies on our products and have been invited to keynote and sponsor the largest restoration conference here in Utah next week, where we will take our next steps at reshaping the $100 billion restoration industry. We're Milo. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Jared Motti. My co-founders William Schaefer-Meyer and Thomas Hart built Nollie. When a coworker of mine who'd been at the company for 10 years quit, a critical system he built broke and no one could fix it. We spent weeks and thousands of dollars simply trying to recover knowledge that walked out the door with him. That knowledge should have already been documented, but it never was. Not because we lacked documentation tools, but because nobody thought to document it in the first place. Every company runs on knowledge that they don't capture. The why behind decisions, the edge cases, the workarounds, how top performers get results. That knowledge lives in people and their conversations and their day-to-day work. But when those people leave, that knowledge leaves with them. The industry's solution to this problem has always been more documentation, believe it or not. But every documentation tool fails for the same reason. They assume that people will stop what they're doing and write about their work. They won't. And when they don't, tools like Notion, Confluence, and other documentation tools remain empty, or even worse, outdated and dangerous. Nollie changes the paradigm. Documentation is no longer a task, it's a byproduct. Nollie integrates with tools like Slack, Zoom, Jira, GitHub, Google Docs, and more, and captures knowledge as work happens. It identifies decisions, workflows, and patterns, and turns it into structured knowledge automatically. A long Slack thread becomes a clean SOP. A winning sales call becomes a repeatable playbook. Technical troubleshooting becomes a searchable runbook. Over time, Nollie builds a living, searchable system that shows how your company actually operates, not how it was documented once, but how it works today. And it gives you super deep insights into what works and what doesn't. We're starting with sales and marketing teams, where revenue is driven by conversations. And since launching in February, 12 organizations have already onboarded and generated hundreds of knowledge items, capturing mission-critical knowledge. The sales and marketing industries alone in the US represent a $12 billion market, and there's clear opportunity for expansion into engineering and operations, and we're already working on that. So in the future, companies won't run on text documentation. They're gonna run on systems like Nollie. And just yesterday, Y Combinator came out and said that they, in their 2026 request for startups, they announced that they're looking for a company that will build a brain for your company. And it is exactly what Nollie's doing. So give your company a brain. Capture your knowledge with Nollie. Thank you.
How's it going? I'm David, one of the co-founders of Opsync. All home service companies sell the same service at the same price. So how do you win? Your sales reps. Training and growing sales reps is mission critical for home service companies. Yet the existing options on the market for training don't work, and more importantly, their reps don't use them. Opsync's different. Sales reps use, love, and on a consistent basis use Opsync. They start by memorizing scripts with our AI to build the foundation of their pitch. Next, they practice navigating real sales conversations with hyper-realistic AI customers. Initially, during these conversations, they struggle. So they ask questions in our chat interface and get instant answers pulled directly from their previously unread company sales manual. Then they want to see how top performers sell. So they watch videos and complete courses as well. And finally, Opsync follows this rep into the field and records real conversations so managers and AI can critique them and continuously improve their sales skills over time. All this and more happens in one app, and it works. 40% of all reps on Opsync train consistently and, more importantly, voluntarily on the app.
That's 5 to 10 times the engagement that competing platforms achieve, and why our customers are so loyal. Opsync is growing quickly. Over a dozen companies and almost 2,000 sales reps use our service. And in the past 75 days alone, we've over 6x'd our ARR, going from $20,000 to over $120,000 of annually recurring revenue, while also achieving at the same time 0% churn and a 60% demo to close ratio. This opportunity is massive. Over $1.5 billion every year is spent on training in-person sales reps in the US. Sales training is broken, and Opsync is the fix. Thank you.
There we go. Thanks. Well, hello again. My name is Brooklyn, and we are DeductLy. In the US, therapy clinics lose an average of $70K a year just from patients rescheduling. When someone moves their appointment, it leaves behind an entire empty hour in the therapist's schedule that is notoriously hard to fill. But at DeductLy, we instantly fill these openings with patients we know can come in, all without a single human phone call. My co-founder Mia noticed this problem firsthand when she worked at a physical therapy office. Her and her coworkers would stand around for hours each week because patients had canceled. So we built DeductLy. Here's how it works. DeductLy knows the ideal appointment time for each patient. So when DeductLy sends a reminder text, unlike other reminder texts, if the patient needs to reschedule, our algorithm pulls from their availability, the clinic's availability, and offers 3 optimized times that work for both. So with one simple text, their appointment is moved. DeductLy then identifies patients who are likely to want the vacated slot and autonomously works to get it filled. After 2 months of intensive internal beta testing with 30 trial patients, we've polished the product and crossed through the red tape. We went live with a clinic just 3 weeks ago, and the market is already responding. We have 8 clinics in the active pipeline and 6 demos with prospective clinics on the calendar in the next week. And most importantly, we have secured official partnerships with 2 major EMR platforms, giving us access to deeply integrate with their 16,000 clinics. We charge on a simple tiered monthly subscription model equal to 10% of the revenue we recover. With over 145,000 clinics in the US, each losing an average of 20% of their annual profits, this represents a $1.3 billion market opportunity. We are so excited to help clinics finally keep their schedules full. We are DeductLy. Thank you.
Hey everyone, my name is Stevie Ibarra and my co-founder is Abby Melby, and we are Paloma. You know what career gets the most flack? For being the most boring, the most monotonous, with incredibly high rates of burnout? You probably just thought of a tax accountant, and you're 100% right. We've met with over 100 accountants. And from what we've seen is that accountants go get a degree, they complete at least 150 credit hours for their CPA license just to spend their majority of their time chasing documents, manually entering data, and doing tedious tax review. But what we do know is that CPAs are financial experts. But that expertise goes to waste when they spend their time doing work that we can now automate with AI. In fact, with the capabilities of modern AI, this means that the next generation of tax firms will be staffed by AI agents. But smaller firms are not going to go out and hire an AI transformation officer. So at Paloma, we become their partner in the AI world. We build agents to help run their firm. These are agents that can help facilitate communication between them and their clients, agents that can go collect documents, analyze them, and extract relevant data, and then with that data, they can go and draft real tax returns for multiple entity types. They can even help with research, staying up to date on complex tax codes that change every single year. Ultimately, this looks like fewer people operating a bigger book of business and more time freed up for higher value services like advisory and strategy. And hopefully they might even have some time to see their families during tax season. In 2024, 85 million returns were prepared by tax professionals. With the pricing of our current product, this creates an over $2 billion total addressable market. That doesn't even factor in our more sophisticated products on our path. And we started with our 2 biggest things, collecting documents, and then inputting that data. And we're happy to say we launched right in the middle of tax season, and we already have 11 accountants using Paloma. At the end of the day, we're helping CPAs do the work they're always meant to do. So if you like tackling big problems and you want to help reshape the modern tax industry, join us. Thank you.
Peaksend AI is a voice AI sales agent that actually converts. We originally built our first agent to solve our own pain of turning leads into qualified booked appointments without the cost and headache of training and hiring appointment setter reps for my insurance agency. We initially expected that the AI would do slightly worse than our human teams. We were shocked to find that we eventually doubled our conversion rates. After that, we found that we could also convert leads at a much lower cost for other companies compared to traditional call centers. For Energy Solutions, a solar company, the typical industry average cost of a booked appointment in labor is $45. With Peaksend, it comes out to $1.35. VMAX Insurance is another call center we worked with. We did over 100,000 calls and booked 930 appointments with their aged leads at a conversion rate that was 2 to 3 times higher than industry average. Our AI costs 50 to 90% less than a typical human call center team and can convert leads at similar or better rates. To date, we've done 80K in revenue and have over 5K in MRR. Also, we just got back from LeadsCon in Vegas and have our calendar booked full with enterprise clients who are worth an estimated $27 million in pipeline revenue for us. The fact that we solve a real pain is clear. The obvious question is, how do we win and build a moat? Getting the AI to actually talk isn't hard. There's a lot of AI slop and noise out there in the market, but getting it to actually sell is, and that's where we stand out. The interesting thing about us is we have a compounding data moat. Every call we do makes our AI better as we feed it into our model and thereby improve performance. This becomes a compounding data moat. $51 billion is spent every single year in phone-first sales industries on appointment setter roles in industries such as insurance, real estate, home services, legal, and financial services. With 7.5 years in sales experience and 11 years in software development experience, we're raising $1 million to scale our go-to-market initiatives and product development. Would love to connect. Thank you.
All right, so we're just a little bit over halfway through. And we're going to invite Erica up because she, like I said, is sponsoring all the food at the big party tonight for all the Sandbox students. So just Erica's doing it. We don't let just anyone sponsor Sandbox Demo Day. So Leland, how many Sandbox alums work at Leland now? 10 Sandbox alums work at Leland, which is like a huge portion of the company. So anyway, we love Leland, and we're going to let Erica just say a couple things.
Thanks, everyone, for having me. As mentioned, we are huge fans of Sandbox at Leland. We have, as mentioned, 10 founders on the team, and that's growing every day. We are actively hiring, so if anyone in the Sandbox community is interested, please join in and apply. We'd love to have you, and your past coworkers and classmates have done such an exemplary job. We keep coming back for more. So thanks for having us, and thank you, Chris, for letting us partner and sponsor this amazing event. I've been super impressed by all the founders. Already texted Chris and asked if I could be an individual investor. Haven't gotten a response yet. But let's dive in and talk about what we are giving away today. We've heard the word AI a lot. AI is the future. AI is happening. And ever since the beginning of Leland, we have helped people level up in their careers. We've helped prepare workforces. And as part of that, in this generation that we're living in, it is helping people learn AI and be equipped to be the best employees they can be in this AI-generated world that we're living in. So we are giving away a seat to our AI Builder program. How many of you have seen Leland on LinkedIn? Raise your hand. Okay, that's good. We have been loud and proud on the LinkedIn platform, and it's because we are really, really proud and excited about the AI Builder program. We launched it a few weeks back, and it has been our fastest growing product to date. It's blown up. We've gotten rave reviews, and we're just so excited about it because it's genuinely helping people not just learn AI. It's not a lecture. It is an opportunity for people to actually learn how to be a builder and incorporate it into their day-to-day work. And so we are giving away a free seat. If you scan this QR code, we'll announce at the end of this session the winner. But really, it's not just for individuals. We've sold across Utah to companies, to smaller organizations, to founders, whoever needs it, and then they've taken it and then already referred their coworkers to go through it. They've passed this to management teams because they know how necessary it is in this day and age to become AI native. So scan the QR code, apply. You can win a seat at any one of the 5 different levels that we have, and if you're interested in a bundle, we can also get you set up for that. But really excited, again, to be here. Thank you for having us, Sandbox, and hope we can get you all into the AI Builder program and becoming true AI natives yourself. Thanks.
All right, back to the show.
Hi, my name is Tanner Crookston. That's my co-founder, Ammon Kunzler, and we are the co-founders of Playbook, a sales intelligence and automation platform for the home service industry. A couple of weeks ago, we sat down with a new client that we're onboarding, the director of inside sales at a pest control company that did a little bit more than $10 million in new revenue last year. Although these numbers sound great on paper, once we sat down and went through their conversion funnels, we actually identified $3.7 million that they left on the table. My goal here today is to walk you through that logic. On average, one of our clients will receive 1,100 new inbound leads every single month. 462 of them, although qualified, do not close on the first phone call, and they receive 0 form of any type of effective follow-up. Once you break that math down, with an $80 cost per lead, that doesn't only add up to $39,000 in wasted ad spend, but with a $600 average contract value, that's almost $280,000 in lost opportunities, adding up to a total of $314,160 in total losses every single month. Playbook fixes this by following up with 100% of qualified unclosed leads, turning lost revenue into closed deals and closing the gap between performance and potential while generating millions of dollars for our clients in the process. But we don't stop there. In reality, Playbook is a suite of tools that's built to identify these types of gaps and inefficiencies in our clients' revenue operations and fix them automatically. Last August, we launched with our first client, and in just a matter of 3 weeks, we booked 1,100 sales for them, generating them $680,000 in revenue. Since then, this year, with a hybrid subscription-based and commission-based revenue model, we're at $205,000 in annual recurring revenue, but we're also at $1.7 million in contracted commission-based revenue. Not only that, but just in the last 90 days, we've 4x'd our customer base, going from 9 customers to 40 customers. They don't just love us, they love us so much that they're actually leaving our competitors to adopt Playbook. The reason for that is because we know something about this industry and the solution that it needs that none of our competitors can seem to grasp. And if you would like to know what that is, you should visit our table over there after these pitches are over. My name is Tanner Crookston, and that's Playbook. Thank you.
Seven million Americans have Alzheimer's today. By 2050, that number is projected to be 13 million. It's not just because the population is growing, but because the way we are living is accelerating cognitive decline. More screen time, less sleep, more social isolation. Alzheimer's is so widespread that researchers are starting to call it type 3 diabetes. When we started visiting retirement homes and assisted living facilities across Utah, we expected to hear a little bit about memory loss. What we actually heard, we could have never prepared for. Almost every single person that we talked to had lost someone to Alzheimer's. A parent, a spouse, a best friend. One man even told us of a story where he lost both his spouse and his best friend. We walked away from these conversations knowing that there was a problem to be solved, and we had to stay here and solve it. For decades, pre-symptomatic detection was nearly impossible. It was unrealistic. And so the industry built itself around post-symptomatic care. That made sense then, but it doesn't make sense now. AI technology has caught us up, and yet most of the players in the market still show up after the window for meaningful intervention has already closed. We are Remembrance, a telehealth for cognitive decline. We'd start with a 45-second voice assessment. After that voice assessment, powered by AI vocal biomarkers, we then, we need no MRI, we need no clinician, and we need no referral specialist. All they need is that 45 seconds. We believe in a world where cognitive decline is caught so early that most people never have to live with these life-altering symptoms. That they never have to live with these life-altering symptoms. In that world exists a platform that gets to the people before the symptoms do, screens them, scores them, monitors them, and connects them with the highest level of care. That platform will become the standard, and that platform is Remembrance. Preventative care isn't a new thing. It's not a new idea, it's a proven idea. For diseases such as breast cancer, colon cancer, heart disease, early detection didn't just save a ton of lives, but it became what people expected. Cognitive health is next. And the market is waiting for someone to build to that standard. Again, our platform will become that standard. We are already in the market and have partnered with a healthcare provider. In the last 90 days, we went from $0 in revenue to $4,000 in monthly recurring revenue. We also went from just 2 screenings in the month of February to 80 screenings already this month. We're operating with a $16.8 billion total attainable market, and we're even in talks to sign the Dementia Society in the next couple of weeks. The market is massive, the need is undeniable, and for the first time in history, the technology is ready to jump ahead. The only question is whether or not you would like to be part of building that standard. Thank you so much.
Hi, my name is Sean, and my co-founder Ethan and I are building Revel. Revel is an AI-native platform for personal trainers. We take admin work that personal trainers hate, like intake, onboarding, and workout program design, and use AI to do those jobs for them. I've been a personal trainer on and off for the past few years. On and off because even while using the top client management platforms, I was still killing hours in front of a screen, building programs instead of spending that time with clients. And that time away from the gym floor, that unpaid time away from the gym floor, is exactly why I hated what I was doing despite loving fitness and helping people reach their goals. And now with Revel, custom training programs can be designed for clients in under 2 minutes. We launched just 4 weeks ago, and we already have 14 trainers paying to use Revel for their over 200 clients. We have 2 LOIs from local gyms and a waitlist with dozens of trainers that want to use us after beta. And our users love us so much that they blow up our phones when we release updates and post us to their Instagram stories unprompted, completely on their own, just like those examples. And we've also built relationships with industry giants like NASM, ISSA, and 24 Hour Fitness to help speed our growth once we have a wider launch. Today, we charge $20 a month for our MVP. Post-MVP, the platform goes free, and we take a 3% transaction fee on all payments run through our platform. And with our flagship Business in a Box, we'll combine LLC formation, bookkeeping and taxes, insurance, websites, and client management for $240 a month, plus that same 3% transaction fee. With 380,000 trainers in the US, this is a $2.1 billion market opportunity. Or Revel, and soon will be the reason your personal trainer doesn't hate their job. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Jaden Flake, and my co-founder Gabriel Hansen and I are building Spaceport. We do 3D models for real estate. Let me show you what I mean. This is a video of a 3D model we did for a house in Washington. You can see the exterior of the home and the surrounding neighborhood in high resolution. It's also lightweight, so a realtor can text a link to this model to anyone, and they can open it up on their phone and instantly explore the property for themselves. When a buyer experiences a model like this, it leaves a lasting impression, and they also get a really good idea of what it's actually like to be there on the property. And so that gives realtors more time to spend with people who are actually interested in closing when they do the site visits. Our technology uses a new process called 3DGS to create these 3D models, And we also have a proprietary system that allows a user to drop a pin on the property and instantly create a flight path that will fly the property, capture all the optimal imagery that we need for the model with their own drone. It adapts to the terrain and it works for quality every time. Because we don't have to send out an expensive team, we can charge as little as $100 per model and have 90% gross margins, making this accessible to everything from middle to upper market real estate. Although we plan on charging $100 per model, we're currently charging from $600 to $40,000 per property for land listings in large master plan communities. And we've done $17,000 in revenue, and we have $100,000 in the pipeline for this summer. We estimate that there's 22.5 million unit sales every year globally that are in our market, and at just $100 per property, that's over a $2 billion attainable market. We are Spaceport. Join us in changing the way people expect to experience real estate. Thank you.
All right, I'm Spencer. My co-founder Jack and I are building Vuey. We do AI mockups and quotes for sign companies. There are 40,000 sign companies in the US, which collectively lose $10 billion a year because their sales process is slow and broken. When a Starbucks opens a new location, they need a sign, so they contract a sign company who drives out, measures the space, creates a mockup, and writes a proposal. This process takes weeks. And by the time Starbucks receives this proposal, they've already gone with a different sign company. Vuey fixes that. A sign company in Vuey uploads a photo, instantly getting them accurate measurements, a branded mockup, and a ready-to-send proposal, cutting 4 weeks down to 15 minutes. In just 2 months, we've gone from $0 to $150,000 in ARR. We have 150 companies in our pipeline waiting and ready to purchase, and we are doing 25 demos a week. And our biggest bottleneck isn't demand, it's onboarding all of these sign companies that are ready to use Vuey. There are 40,000 sign companies in the US, which represents a $1 billion market opportunity, and that's a wedge into a larger opportunity. We were personally invited to the largest sign expo in the world because we were previously voted best of show at another expo. At this expo, we talked to other service companies who have similar workflows and are interested in a solution just like Vuey for their business. Again, the wedge is signage, and we're not stopping there. Thank you.
%40 of Americans can't cover a $400 emergency expense. Currently, there aren't any good options to help bridge the gap between when they need money and when they get paid. Payday loans charge an average APR of 552%, and every year, over 12 million Americans use one, and collectively, they pay over $9 billion in interest. Payday loans have to be that expensive because they're blindly pricing risk. They don't know anything about the person they're underwriting, like their employment status or income. Wagebo eliminates that risk by partnering directly with employers to see how much employees are earning in real time, which is why we can charge a flat $5 fee rather than dangerously compounding interest. In the Wagebo app, employees can see their available earnings calculated through our integration with their employer's time clock and payroll systems. Employees can access those earnings in a single tap. The funds settle instantly, and the wages are deducted from their next paycheck. We're already working with big brands like Hilton, Crumble, and Marriott, but food service and hospitality is just the start. Hourly and 1099 workers in every industry need this, and Wagebo can work for all of them. This market is still early. 93% of workers that need access to something like Wagebo don't have it, and Wagebo is better positioned than our competitors to change that. Employers choose Wagebo over our competitors because we don't change payroll. Our competitors reroute paychecks and force employees to open new bank accounts. Wagebo doesn't do any of that. Employers still run payroll normally, and employees still get paid in their existing bank accounts. Just this week, we signed NERSA, opening the door to over 400,000 clinicians that want NERSA to pay instantly. Wagebo is growing. Demand from employees and employers is outpacing what we can service. Now that we've validated that this idea works, we're raising capital to make payday loans obsolete and help millions of workers access the money they've already earned. We are Wagebo. Thank you.
Last pitch, promise. My name is Connor Lee Neistat, and I'm the creator of Ziva. The last time that you guys were at a public event, say like a music festival or a concert or a sports game, and you tried to get online, what happened? You gave up, right? Too many people, and the network couldn't handle the load. This happens at every live event. The more people that show up, the worse the network gets. I grew up in Las Vegas, and I've been working in the live entertainment industry for over a decade. And that has always been true no matter what event that you go to. For example, Reading Festival in 2021. They went fully cashless for the first time and their network went down. Mobile order processing, or not mobile, but payment processing went down and they had to turn away hundreds of customers that were already standing in line ready to pay. That same year at Astroworld, if some of you have heard of that, they had 50,000 people that overwhelmed that network. During that same time, firefighters were trying to coordinate an emergency and 10 people lost their lives because firefighters had to use cell phones that didn't work because of the crowds. The more people show up, the worse the network gets. But in the last 2 years, the phones that everybody brings in their pockets to these events have become strong enough to build the very networks that they're breaking. So at Ziva, we turn the crowds into the new infrastructure. We take every person's device that's in their pockets and we create a mesh network that gets stronger the more people show up as opposed to weaker. And we do it using protocols that the military has been using for decades and that I personally built for the Marine Corps for 4 years. Sorry about that. That I personally built for the Marine Corps for the last 4 years. This isn't just a theory. This is real. We started less than a month ago. We started just over a month ago, beginning of March, and by the end of the month, we'd already launched our first pilot at Boost Conference at 2026. If some of you were there as mentors or attendees, if you use the Boost app, you were using the Ziva network. We're currently building out for Hayloft Music Festival and Tailgate Music Festival and are in talks with other major music festivals across the US and Canada. We start with music festivals because they feel the pain the most. They have the densest crowd and the least amount of connectivity. And once we nail that, we plan to expand into anywhere that crowds take down networks. Theme parks. Airports, malls, things like that. We believe that the future of infrastructure, or the future of wireless connectivity, is less infrastructure. So join us as we reinvent the future of wireless infrastructure. Thank you.
Want to make sure you heard that last sentence. All right, that's it. Well done. Sorry about the mics. We changed the format this year. If you've been before, you were usually in a big, dark auditorium where you could never find the teams afterwards. And so we deliberately changed the format this year. We only invited investors and the students, so everyone in this room should be someone that you want to talk to. They're going to be spread around the outside perimeter. We invite you to go find them, talk to them. If you didn't, I guess, oh, that went away as well. But the QR code here, you can scan that. You can request an introduction to any of the teams and continue the conversations after this. Thanks for coming.